Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. I was just about to run some errands. As you can clearly see, we have a Target return back here that I desperately need to do because actually, oh my God, I'm kind of actually liking this now that I see it like on camera, but I didn't like it. See, I like the pattern, but I just didn't like how it fit on me. I felt like it was just like a big old moo-moo, which no, is not a vibe, but it is a really good color. Anyways, all right, we're gonna talk about trust issues today because we all have them. When you've come out of this relationship, especially if there's been cheating, lying, someone left you, discarded you, treated you so poorly, you're absolutely going to have trust issues. But even if that didn't happen, if there was just like manipulation, gaslighting, you were dealing with someone who's narcissistic or toxic, emotionally abusive, all those things, you're going to leave with some stuff. And instead of talking about specific wounds, I figured let's just like put a big umbrella on all of this and let's just talk about the trust issues that we have that honestly just really do never go away. I know this is a little weird because I feel like on one hand, I always say, heal from your stuff. And now I'm basically telling you, look, you're going to have these issues probably for the rest of your life. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we all have stuff that we will carry with us for a lifetime. It's just traumas that we've been through. So healing is not about that stuff never showing up. It's about when it does show up, what do you do about it? And the more you do that, the less it starts to show up. I think the biggest thing that we all struggle with, that we've all told ourselves, because I've been doing this for almost 10 years and I've talked to thousands upon thousands of people. And I got to tell you, including myself as well, in that is the one thing that we always say. It's like these universal things that we say in our minds after we come out of these relationships. We're all kind of thinking like, what does this person really want from me? When is the shoe going to drop? It's like this fear of the same thing happening all over again, or not believing people, not trusting in people, not being comfortable being vulnerable, not really allowing ourselves to fully be in relationships because we're afraid we're going to end up being hurt or disappointed like we have been in the past. I know for me, one of the biggest things was really doubting people's intentions on why is someone doing this. In the very beginning, when I started dating Jason, I think whenever he did something nice, it was hard for me to just accept that this was actually coming from like a pure place and not a place of tit for tat, that you wanted something from me later on, or that there was a reason for doing this, right? Like this is where we're trying to like find the red flags and see that this person's narcissistic, and we can become really obsessed with that we don't see a genuine person in front of us. Even when someone can treat us really well, we still have that other shoe dropping feeling in like the pit of our stomach. There's an aspect of really believing that what if this person changed? What if this person woke up tomorrow and became a different person? What if they flipped? What if this is something that just won't last? The reason why we think these things is obviously because we've gone through this type of a relationship. We've gone through a very unstable relationship. We've been in relationships, whether they're romantic or not, with people who are not emotionally stable, who were manipulative, who were passive aggressive, who did gaslight, all of those things. You have to understand emotional abuse because the two go hand in hand, because emotional abuse is just basically tactics that a person uses on you when they either feel uncomfortable or they don't get their way. And unfortunately, even you or I, yeah, we're not narcissistic or anything like that, but we can tend to do things like that from time to time. So when you get uncomfortable, what is it that you do? Do you get defensive? Do you shut down? Like those are all under the umbrella of emotional abuse. So it really is about learning how to hold on to yourself while you're in relationships with other people. When you're dealing with people that aren't healthy and that don't know as much as you or I know, or aren't as consciously aware of themselves and don't want to take a lot of accountability or responsibility for themselves, you're not going to be in a healthy relationship with them. So you're going to evolve and just focus on you and get better, and you're healthier. You won't be attracted to people that can't take responsibility for themselves. Whereas before you were, because unfortunately you were also a person that didn't want to take responsibility for yourself. You made someone responsible for how you felt about yourself. You wanted to get validation. You were just as wounded as that person. You just operated from like a little bit of a different space. One of the really big trust issues, I guess, that I kind of had, and to be frank, I don't look at this as a bad thing, but some people may, right? And they might be like, hey, look, this is a little too black and white thinking for me. But I don't go off of words. I really don't. I go off of action. I go off of consistency. The problem with that might be a little on okay, we got to really work on this, is if someone has really shown who they are and they've proven themselves and they've been consistent, when they tell you something, do you still believe them or do you still doubt? Like, do you believe them or do you actually just still doubt them? So if you still doubt them, that is still your stuff. That's still the trust issue. That's still the wound. That's still the trauma. So, and that stuff all of this stuff can come up. It's not about the stuff not coming up. It's about what do you do when it actually comes up? How do you handle yourself? Do you feed it? Or do you really can detach from it and have you learned how to parent yourself through it? All of these things that I'm talking about right now is what I teach in my private coaching practice. This is what we kind of like work through. There's a big part of what I work with clients on that's like strictly educational stuff. And quite frankly, you can get that in videos. You can't get the one-on-one in terms of your specific situation, what you're going through. Because, when I work with someone, one of the big things that I always tell them, I'm like, look, we're going to work on a goal this week, right? Like one little thing. And you go off into the world and you're like, all right, I'm set. Like, I know this. I've studied for the test. Well, guess what? Because you've taken tests before. You could have studied for hours and there's still going to be a question that you're like, I don't know this, or I forgot, or how do I handle myself in this situation when I'm sweating during taking this test? Like, how do I talk myself off the ledge to access the answer that I know in order to write it down on the paper? That's kind of what coaching is about, because it really holds you accountable in the moment. And you have access to me while you are living your life, while you are struggling, to be able to work through how you feel. I think the obsession that we all feel is this notion that we are going to miss something. We're going to miss it. We're going to miss that red flag. We're not going to see that this person's being deceiving of us. We're not going to see that this person's taking advantage of us. Are they manipulating us? Are they gaslighting us? Like, the obsession becomes, will I be able to spot when something is not good for me? And go deeper with that, am I going to be able to take myself out of that equation now that I've started to fall for this person and I've started to catch feelings for them or possibly be in love with them? The only way you can do those two things is when you are so healthy inside your own self, when you have learned how to parent yourself in a way that you were like, I am not giving anyone the ability to have that level of control over me ever again. And that's not a wall that you're putting up. That's not a defense mechanism because you've been hurt. That's actually healthy. That's the way you were supposed to be operating this entire time, but you didn't because you were wounded. If you are struggling with all of these things, I encourage you to click the link down below and apply for my coaching program. Everything that I've talked about today, you might really be struggling with, or maybe it's just like a couple of things, but coaching is really about the ability to get one-on-one personal coaching, being held accountable, because I'm going to call you out on your stuff when you need to be called out on it. And you got to learn this stuff and you got to put it into practice. It's one thing to learn it. It's one thing to watch a video. It's one thing, information and knowledge. It's another thing to actually put it into practice. When you start liking a person, when you start dating a person, even if you're not even dating anyone, just being single and alone and being able to be okay with that and be hopeful for your future, that's a beast in itself, because there have been moments where you have doubted the process, and knowing how to not doubt that process and to be really healthy and knowing and confident in your future and your ability to manifest what it is that you want, that's a skill. And that's something that you have to practice. And guess what? You're not going to be strong every single day to practice it in every single moment. And that's what I'm here for. So if you are interested in working with me, I will link it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I'm going to go run out, do some errands, pick up my son from camp, do all the things you parents know. Summer vacation, we're in full bloom right now of this, and I am enjoying every single moment of this weather because it's so gorgeous. But I hope you guys are well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.